Welcome to Starcraft Pulse, a weekly show dedicated to keeping you entertained while the Starcraft 2 beta is down. We have quite a lot of interesting news and information on the show this week, so let's get started. Last week, Starcraft Pulse narrowly missed the release of patch 14. Though there weren't really a lot of big changes, a patch is a patch. The most significant changes in patch 14 were most probably the ground damage reduction of Vikings and the build time decrease of Archons. Other than that, just a few small changes and balances. Just a few days later came patch 15's release, and with it a full database reset. Again. This patch saw Terran mechanical units get a bit of a nerf. There was also a slight reduction on siege tank damage. Terran also had the cost of the Reaper Nitro Packs upgrade halved, now only 50 minerals and 50 gas. There were also whispers of patch 16 hitting the servers, but Blizzard told everyone that it was just to fix one crash and should be disregarded. Just a couple of days ago, Blizzard announced the winners of the 2010 Starcraft 2 video contest. Some of the fan-made videos were definitely worth checking out. See the finalists and runners-ups videos, as well as the prizes they won, in the links below. This past weekend saw the last Zotac and Go for SC2 tournaments of this phase of the beta. The Terran player Brat OK managed to claim his first Zotac win, with another Terran player, Tarson, taking the Go for SC2 tournament. See more about that and get full replay packs in the links below. The popular show Gosu TV aired its last episode of the season this past Wednesday. The show will be back in August for its second season. Visit Gosu Gamers for the full story. Gamasutra had an interview with Blizzard's Dustin Browder on Friday about how Blizzard were building on the beta. It's a great read if you're interested in the technical side of things. Blizzard recently mentioned on the official Battle.net forums that they were well aware of the issues ailing the current Battle.net 2.0. They also said that when the second phase of the beta begins, shortly before the release of the game, it will include a new patch. This patch will be removing all previous versions folders, so any replays created during the first phase of the beta will no longer be viewable when the second phase begins. Sadly, none of this news really makes a difference until the next phase of the beta actually starts. But that's it for international news. Sunday night we saw 24 players duke it out for the privilege to face the Reigning Fist Dreamer, and what a night it was. There was a lot of stress and tension between the players due to the first two rounds being best of one. On the whole, the tournament ran very smoothly and there were some great games being played. The only downside was that there were so many Terran versus Terran matchups, and we all know how long those can take. In the finals, Dreamer managed to fend off his brother Angry African and win with a score of 3-0. Local gaming website Telkom Do Gaming has made it official that there will in fact be a Starcraft 2 launch event hosted by Telkom, Megarom and Asus. Apparently it will be invite only and they'll be offering some significant prizes. The tournament is scheduled to be on July the 31st, but read more about that in the links below. Now for the strategy segment of the show. This week I was slightly limited with the replays I could watch as something seemed to break when the beta went down. I had to choose a different strategy from the one I had planned for this week. It's a strategy some may not really want out there in the public. We'll be looking at the Terran all-in Marine SCV rush against Protoss. We've been seeing this strategy used more and more often on the local and international scene, and I decided it would be as good as any to cover. It's been dubbed the McNoob push here in South Africa, and if you haven't seen it being used before, it should be pretty entertaining to watch. The game is between McNoob and Dreamer. They are Terran and Protoss respectively. So we have Dreamer spawning at the bottom left as the yellow Protoss and McNoob top right as the purple Terran. We are mostly going to be focusing on what McNoob is doing in this video as we are trying to learn the strategy that he's using. From the start of the game it all looks pretty normal, but one of the key differences is that you won't, as Terran, be getting that gas after you put on your first barracks. You won't be getting any gas at all. You'll want to put on your first supply depot on 9 supply count or with the third SCV that you build. Now on a map like Kulas Ravine where you have the opportunity to block the choke of your base really early, it's a good idea to do it. This will stop your opponent from scouting you and you'll have some protection behind the wall you created. Try to constantly keep an eye on your supply count and get those supply depots down when you need them. Use the same SCV that built your first supply depot to build your first barracks. As we can see, McNoob has still not put on a refinery. That's the way we want to keep it. It's pretty important to get everything done at the right time, because in a strategy like this, every second counts. Just before your first barracks is done, or in about 15 supplies, start construction on your second one. Soon after that, put your third barracks down, and soon after that one, your fourth. As soon as these go down, you'll want to start building marines from them. You won't be getting any reactors or tech labs. Use the SCV that built your first barracks to scout your opponent's base. It's key to know where he is so that you can know where to send all your units. Remember to also keep building SCVs and keep an eye on your supply count. A total of 16 or 17 SCVs would be best to fully saturate your mineral line. As you can see, Dreamer's probe couldn't get inside McNoob's base, so he has no idea what's coming. As I said before, you just want to keep those marines coming. Keep them gathered somewhere inside your base. You should constantly keep an eye on your minerals and try get those last barracks down without slowing down the marine production too much. This strategy is quite hard to get right, and you might have to micro your units really well if your opponent sees it coming. All it takes is practice. As you can see, Dreamer doesn't have many units to defend with just yet. He currently only has one Zealot and a bunch of probes. If we take a quick look at Dreamer's base, we can see that he's going a pretty standard Protoss build. It's what you'd expect them to do in most games against Terran. At this point in the game, you should have about 8 Marines out already with your full amount of SCVs. Just carry on building more Marines for now. When you get to about 33 to 35 supply of Marines and SCVs, and you know where your opponent's base is situated, get ready to move out. If there are still Marines in production, set all the waypoints across the map to your opponent's base so they can get there as soon as possible. Try to keep your SCVs in front of your Marines, as the Marines are ranged and your main source of damage. As you can see, McNoob has left 2 SCVs in his base to continue mining the minerals. That's not usually needed in an all-in strategy like this. If you still have minerals left and space in your supply, fill it up with Marines. If your opponent has blocked his choke, hold the SCVs back while the Marines attack whatever is in the way, then just carry on through. It's good to keep the SCVs and the Marines in separate groups so you can keep the Marines attacking and get surrounds on your opponent's units with the SCVs. When you get to your opponent's base, don't waste any time. Attack anything you see. Focus the units first, then try go for the Protoss pylons. As you can see, Dreamer can't do much to stop all these Marines and SCVs. But there you have it, guys. Hopefully I will be able to do the counter for this strategy soon as well. You can find the replay in the links below if you want to watch it yourself. To watch replays while the beta servers are down, simply drag the replay files onto the sc2switcher.exe in the support folder of your main Starcraft 2 directory. Check back again next week and hopefully I'll have something new and interesting for you guys to learn. Blizzard's been rather busy over the past week. Just a day or two ago, they announced that quite a few World of Warcraft servers would be going down for extended 24-hour maintenance to prepare for Cataclysm. They did make it clear, however, that this does in no way imply that Cataclysm is coming anytime soon. Another big piece of news this week was the announcement of the Twin Peak Battlegrounds coming in Cataclysm. It's an amazing looking zone that's said to be a Warsong Gulch style capture the flag match between Horde and Alliance. Another small piece of news is that the beta for the remote auction house has ended and the feature is now live. You can read more about that and anything else I mentioned in the links below. Sadly, that's it for this week's show. Join me next Wednesday for your weekly fix. And happy stop... Oh, wait.